There's no shortage of food in Brazil at all. The country is one of the world's leading producers and exporters of agricultural products, but hunger or food insecurity, mostly connected to poverty, remains an unsolved problem both in urban and rural areas. According to figures recently released by the country's statistics agency, it has worsened in recent years, following almost a decade of improvement. Government surveys show more than 25 million Brazilian households, nearly 37% of the country, suffer some degree of food insecurity. If you break these figures down, food insecurity was significantly worse in rural areas.
Isso está muito relacionado à situação econômica.
This is very much related to the economic scenario. From 2004 on, there was growth in the formal labour market. People's wages went up. This good situation lasted until 2013 or 2014, when Brazil was then hit by a severe economic crisis.
Luciana Quintão founded in 1998 the NGO Banco de Alimentos, the food bank, which collects and distributes food donations, mostly of viable products otherwise destined to waste. This home for elderly women is one of its beneficiaries.
Brazil produces
more food than it needs to feed all of its inhabitants. What we need is to give good conditions to all people to buy their food and be properly nourished.
The official figures showing an increase in the number of people suffering from hunger in Brazil have been collected well before the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. And even though there are no official statistics showing what happened this year, there are signs that the quarantine and social distancing measures further worsened the situation.
In Brasilândia, one of São Paulo's poorer districts, hunger has never been fully eradicated, despite efforts like the community association's meals distribution.
Most people here in Brasilândia rely on the informal economy to survive. Unfortunately, in the pandemic, there was a significant increase in the number of people who need assistance. And this is going to get worse when the pandemic emergency aid paid by the federal government ends. This will increase even more poverty and misery here.
The meals and some other food donations we are receiving now are helping a lot. But at the beginning of the pandemic, we sometimes had only beans and manioc flour to eat. Sometimes I drank water with sugar to get by. I would give big glasses of water with sugar to my family to try and trick the hunger.
It will be hard for Brazil to sort its food security issues before it beats the economic crisis, made even worse by the COVID-19 crisis, but it seems to be one of the country's key tasks to secure a sustainable and prosperous future. Paulo Cabral, CGTN, São Paulo.